So it's time. I sign the paperwork, and in a few minutes they're going to come and take out my staples and my drainage tube, and I get to go home. So just a short, quick couple minutes, and I'll be going out of here. Last time I have to wear this. Hey guys, I thought I'd share my first, not regular meal, but my first pureed meal. I'm starting my pureed foods today 3 times a day, no matter what. And actually today I don't really feel like eating, but they said go ahead and eat whether you feel it or not. So this morning I'm going to start with some eggs. I think eggs are good. I've always liked the protein content in eggs. I think they got like 6 grams of protein per egg. So I'm going to go ahead and whip up some pureed egg for this morning's breakfast, so I can kind of get on and go about the rest of my day. So here it is. Okay guys, I'm going to start off with my my pan. It's a no-stick pan, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a cooking spray in it. Not because I don't have faith in my pan, but a lot of the no-stick pans still stick a little bit. So what I do is I just kind of season it. I spray a little bit in there and I pretty much wipe it all out, just to kind of get a good base in there. Plus, I don't know if you can see this, these 2 rivets here kind of attract food a little bit. It gets stuck in there and it's just kind of hard to clean. So we're going to turn that on, and we want a nice hot pan to start off with. Get going. So I'm going to turn that on and I'll go over the ingredients, what I'm going to put in it. I'm going to start with 1 egg, beaten slightly. After that I'm going to put in, this is 1/8 of a teaspoon of Romano Parmesan cheese. And then top that off with about 1/2 tablespoon of sharp cheddar cheese. I don't want to put a lot of extras in there because I want to make sure that I get all my protein and I'm not getting a lot of the extra stuff that I don't need. Not that cheese is not good with the protein, but I want to make sure it's important that I get my egg protein in first. I'm not going to put any salt or pepper in it right now because what I'm going to do to puree it is I'm going to end up putting some chicken broth, and that'll not only wet it down quite a bit and make it almost a liquid, but it will also salt it and season it. It does have a lot of sodium, that chicken broth, and give it a lot of flavor. So I think the pan's hot enough now. I've got my trusty heat-resistant spatula here. Make sure you always use a spatula that is heat-resistant because you don't want to melt your good spatulas. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to work pretty fast here. Once I get the egg in the pan, you want to keep stirring to make a good curd. Throw in the Parmesan cheese right away because it won't stick to the pan, but it'll kind of mix with the eggs. I don't like my eggs really ready, so I'm going to turn off the pan, or really done, so I'm going to turn off the pan at this point. Throw in my Parmesan or my cheddar cheese and stir that up. Make sure the cheddar cheese is all melty and such. And I'm going to really chop that up just to make sure that I get a good puree when I do puree it. And it looks like it's about done. That was pretty quick, huh? Eggs are really easy to make, so there's no excuse that you don't have time to have breakfast in the morning. There's always time to make breakfast. Just whip up a couple eggs. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I have my magic bullet, which I'm going to set there. Can you see that? I guess you can see it okay. I'm just going to, I can only have, or I should start off with, they say start off with 3 tablespoons of food. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out, because when I put the chicken broth in there, it'll get to be a little bit more than 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to put 1, and be careful, the pan and the eggs are still hot, and that is going to probably equal out to be just about 3 tablespoons. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and put that other little bit in there. I won't be able to eat it, but I'll go ahead and measure it out after I get done pureeing it. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a couple spoons full, and this is just like a regular eating spoon. I'm going to put a couple spoonfuls of chicken broth in there, and probably 3 to start off with, and see if that purees it. That small horse sounding sound in the background is my son visiting me for breakfast. He's already had his, so he'll have to pass. So I'm going to go ahead and puree this. Probably 30 seconds or so. And let's see how it turned out to be. Not quite there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more chicken broth to it, probably another 3 tablespoons or 4 spoonfuls or so. I think that'll work. So we'll put that back on there. And remember, we want 3 tablespoons of the finished product. And sometimes you kind of have to take that a little bit. That sounds about right. So if you can see that, that's about what you're going to end up with. So I'm going to use my spatula and scrape that all out and measure it out for you in just a second here. So I've got my eggs, and let's see if that measures out to be 3 tablespoons. I believe they'll probably be cutting it close. So 1, that's a little 2. I think that'll be about right on 3 tablespoons, maybe a little bit less, but that's fine. I may not be able to eat all that, so it's about 3 tablespoons. If you want to make double a batch, just to make sure you get your 3 exact tablespoons, if you think you're going to be able to eat it, that's fine. Now, I haven't eaten anything. Jell-O is about the most solid food I've eaten. So this turned out to be about 3 tablespoons. Almost exactly, a little bit less, but that's fine. Now it's almost a liquidy consistent. It's pretty runny, and that's what you want, I guess, when you start off. I'll be on this for about a week or 2, so I'll be doing all my foods like this, and it's probably going to be a lot better than the Jell-O and broth I've been eating. So give me a second and we'll test this out. So here we go, and I'm going to use my son's pre-toddler spoon just to get the first bite, because I really don't want to have my first bite ruin my whole eating experience. So I'm going to go ahead and taste this out. And I say to it, even though it's liquidy consistent, actually it's pretty good. It's cooled off a little bit, so you might want to pop it in the microwave for just 2 or 3, maybe 4 seconds, just to heat it up just a bit. But actually it's really good. I can taste the cheese, and like the bouillon gave it a pretty good seasoning. Plenty of salty enough with the bouillon, so this is pretty good. And I'll put the recipe in the sidebar, just so you guys can have it. But here it goes. I'm eating food again. This really tastes good. All right.